It is time to expand minds through movies, TV, sports, and flicks. It is time to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. It is time for the Captain Talks Flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talks Flicks podcast. I'm your host, the Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. Welcome to the podcast where me, the Captain, talks about movies, TV, sports, flicks, anything you can see in the two-board screen. I like to get out here and give my unique perspective because after 47 years of being on planet Earth, I've developed a new perspective about these movies, TV, sports, and flicks, and I like to get out and tell about it. Because just maybe you care. And according to the stats, it looks like you do care. I want to give a big shout out to Ecuador. Got some plays in Ecuador this past week. Gracias, gratitude, todo. In Ecuador, I heard about your locro de papa, the Ecuadorian potato soup. I saw somebody make it on YouTube. It looked absolutely magnificent. So you know what the Cap's gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to make some of my own. So maybe this week, next week, I will probably make the locro de papa. Looks delicious. I will try it out and I'll let you know how it tasted. So thanks for listening. Got just gratitude. And just FYI, back in the day, went to school to be a radio teacher, but never got a job. I think I never got a job because I just didn't believe in myself. Back in the day, the beliefs were minimal, and that's why I probably didn't become a radio teacher. But that enabled me to become the greatest podcaster in the Matrix. Something to debate. Might be true, might not be true, but I said it on the internet, so it's gotta be true, right? Because everything on the internet is facts, not facts, true, false, propaganda, fake news, the Matrix, pencils, pens, crayons, feathers with ink on them. I don't know. I didn't make the internet. Ask the people that made the internet. So when you're online, just be worried, just watch out. Anyways, I come randomly here all day, but I won't. Let's get right into the podcast. But first, a word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, do you like rap? Well, if you do, me, the Captain, Che Cortez, just dropped a new album on Halloween 2023. It is called The Psychology of Wordplay. And in this album, you will hear me rap in my unique style that nobody else is doing over crazy beats. And this particular album is filled with a lot of the phrases, mantras that I speak daily, right? Because a lot of times Monkey Mind will creep in and repeat these song titles in my mind so I can keep pushing and keep doing it. So if you want to hear how the Captain stays inspired, listen to The Psychology of Wordplay and you will hear how I stay doing what I'm doing. So check it out. I'll put the link below. Now, let's get on the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back again. In the last week, that Halloween week, that monkey mind crept in. It's been a while since I've seen that monkey mind. Like, my mind was saying some interesting things. It was saying things that weren't true. It was repeating other people's ideas and words. I just sat there, I was like, I could not believe my mind was saying it. But on the path we walk, on the path to expand minds, on the path to achieve greatness, on the path of improvement, you may feel that monkey mind creep in and you may have your mind saying things that are untrue, trying to deter you from accomplishing your greatness. And you know what? The Captain is not immune. The Captain felt it this week. I was going to do the podcast yesterday. I just couldn't do it because I was that slowed down by the monkey mind. But you know what? You get a good night's sleep, try again the next day. And I did. And now I'm back podcasting again. You know that monkey mind? I silenced him. I sat and I addressed my monkey mind. And I told the monkey mind what's up. I said, monkey mind, I'm about this, and that. All those things you're spitting is lies. So ladies and gentlemen, maybe you can relate. Maybe you have those disempowering monkey minds creeping in. You know what you do there? You just let them know. You let them know how strong, how powerful, how awesome of a human being you are. Because I guarantee you, if you are listening to this podcast, you are about expanding your mind. Because if you came back again, that's what we're about here. This is what we do. We're about expanding our mind through taking action, through our habits, through our language, what we consume. This is what we do here. If you've been here for a while, you know that's how I roll. And what lessons can we learn from the two? It's what we do. So ladies and gentlemen, the monkey might attack, but I had to fight him back because it all comes down to you versus you. Right? And I let him know. I said, bro, I don't roll like that. Don't you know I am the captain? So yeah, that happened this week. And now it's time to podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, this week I'm going to talk about my most favorite franchise in the cosmos. And I'm talking about the one and the only. Beat me up, Scotty. Live long and prosper. Make it so. Star Trek. This week I get to see the season finale of Star Trek Lower Decks. Old Friends, New Planets. But before I get into that, a couple things. First of all, there will be spoilers. Second of all, I do own some shares in the parent company of Star Trek. I just want to be clear and transparent to let you know. Now that I told you that, let's get into Star Trek Lower Decks, Old Friends, New Planets. Ladies and gentlemen, Star Trek Lower Decks, Old Friends, New Planets ended powerfully. It was a magnificent episode. We got to see the return of Locarno, and he was still mad from what happened in Nova Squad. He was so mad, he took some actions that were probably not the best actions to take. Right, so that's what happened in the episode, and we get to see how the Cerritos crew handled taking him out, taking him down, stopping him from doing his diabolical, mad plan. In the process of seeing this journey, we got to see Wesley Crusher come back once again, voiced by Will Wheaton. Yeah, Wesley Crusher was back. So yeah, very cool episode. And there was so many Easter eggs. I'm gonna talk about a few real quick. In the show, I believe there were scenes that were straight from Wrath of Khan. I was watching this because I've seen Wrath of Khan so much, like, this is right out of Wrath of Khan. There was like a space battle later in an episode, and you can see it, the visuals, everything about it was straight Wrath of Khan. They borrowed from Wrath of Khan so much, which is cool. I like how they played homage to that great flick, because it's a fantastic movie. I love Wrath of Khan. It's very heavy in lessons. If you've not seen Star Trek Wrath of Khan, I highly recommend you go check it out. It was absolutely fantastic. There was so much in this episode, but what I want to do is do what I normally do and just get into a little more detail about something that I noticed in the show, or something that I thought was like a lesson, or somebody learned from it actually. So when I was watching Lower Decks, the crew of the Cerritos had to break through a shield, and Tendi had suggested the option of going to see her sister on the home world of the Orions. So Tendi went over there. And so what I found interesting about that is, like, Tendi, when she's on the Cerritos, has to act and carry herself in a certain way. And then when she gets on to the home world of the Orions, which I can't remember the name of it right now, she has to shift and kind of morph into a different version of Tendi in order to operate in that space. When I saw that, I immediately thought of real life. Because I've been thinking in the last week, you know, as human beings, we go so many places, right? We go a lot of places, right? I'm sure wherever you are in the world, I'm sure you visit a lot of places. We walk into a lot of rooms, a lot of buildings, a lot of environments, you know, and some we stay for a while, some we're there for a small moment of time. But whatever room or environment or building that you walk into, there's a certain system set up, a certain culture, a certain set of norms, a certain way of being, a certain way of acting that needs to be done in that space, right? And so, like, Tendi, when she's in Starfleet, she kind of operates in the Starfleet manner, because that is what is required. And when she goes to Orion, she has to shift and morph into that Orion kind of mindset, Orion state of being. Now, as human beings who are in the world, if we can recognize and understand when we go to these different areas, different places, different spaces, wherever they may be, and understand there's certain rules, certain norms, certain ways to move about that, and understand when we shift to these different environments to maximize the benefits of said environments, and we must play and move and act within those norms and rules, right? So what is required in one space for you to be and how to act will be different, or significantly different, or way different, or slightly different in other spaces, whatever that may be, whoever you are talking to, whoever you engage with. Whatever building you're in, whatever classroom you're in, whatever job you're in, right? Now, I think some people would call that being fake, right? Like, you're being fake. You should be the same way in all spaces, all places. Now, I don't think it's being fake. I think as a human being, we were going to be the core person of who we are. So when the captain goes where he goes and does what he does, and I do what I do, basically, I'm still the captain. but I just have to kind of shift maybe my actions and demeanor and things slightly to navigate the environment in the best way possible. And I feel if we understand that and we know that, then we can adjust our habits, our being, our ways of moving in order to effectively accomplish what we need to accomplish in these different environments. To maximize the return on being in these environments, we need to be what we need to be in those environments. And in the show, we saw that play out exactly, because when Tendi was in Starfleet, she moves and acts in certain ways to accomplish the best she can in that area. But when she was on Orion, same thing. And we've seen that in a couple other episodes when she's been on Orion, that she had to shift into that Orion mindset, Orion way of thinking. I believe also that Mariner is good at this as well. Boimler, Rutherford, they're kind of the same everywhere. But I feel that Tendi and Mariner are good at adapting to the environment they're in. Mariner is really good at that. She seems to be able to morph, become what she needs to become for whatever environment she seems to be walking into. While the other lower deckers, not so much, with the exception of maybe Tendi. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you're the exact same version of yourself in all areas, that's cool. But I feel in order to maximize effectiveness, you may have to shift certain things about yourself in order to get the most return on said environment, whatever that may be. I don't know, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But when I saw Lower Decks this week, this is the lesson I kind of saw it when I watched it. That's what I thought. I said, look at Tendi doing what she's got to do on Orion versus what she's doing in Starfleet to get the mission accomplished, to get what needs to be done accomplished. So when you go home and you go walk in your world and you walk in these buildings, have awareness. What are the rules of this environment? What are the norms of this environment? What's the best way to move and act and think? How can I get ahead? How can I get the most out of this situation? How can I learn the most? How can I expand my mind the most? How can I get the most benefit, most return on investment when walking in the environments? What do I need to say? How do I need to move? How do I need to act? How do I need to think in this environment versus other environments? What do I got to say? What do I got to move? What do I got to read? What do I got to talk about in order to maximize return? Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I don't know. I just feel that might be true. I feel that in the show, it's been shown time and time again through Tendi and through Mariner that this might be a good way to navigate the universe. Maybe I'm totally wrong. I don't know. But when I saw Lower Decks this week, it's exactly what I thought about when I saw the episode. And maybe it's truth, maybe it's not. I don't know. Check out the episode. What do you think? Maybe the captain knows what you're talking about, or maybe like, bro, captain, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't know, but that's what I saw this week. And we close out Lower Decks. That's the last episode of the season. And we're done with Star Trek, I think, for like 2-3 months. No more Star Trek for 2-3 months. I am very disappointed because we've been getting so much Star Trek for so long. And I think the writer's strike and the actor's strike has really slowed that up now. And unfortunately, now we gotta wait for more Star Trek. So these next few podcasts, I don't know what I'm gonna talk about, bro. I've been doing Star Trek regularly for like the last 2 years, maybe longer than that. There's always been some Star Trek on the tube, and now there's a considerable break. I don't know. We'll see where this podcast will go. So ladies and gentlemen, another fine episode. Lower Decks is fantastic. If you've not seen Lower Decks, I highly recommend you go check it out because it's a fantastic ride. And if you've not seen any of the other Star Trek, I highly recommend you go check it out because it's entertaining and you'll learn something, bro. It'll expand your mind. Star Trek is beautiful like that. And one last thing. This is episode 598. 2 more and we will be at 600, bro. 600 episodes. I read a tweet the other day by this entrepreneur and he was saying like 90% of podcasters don't make it past episode, I think 10 or 20 or something like that. Barely anybody makes it past 20 episodes. They all just quit. And here the captain is sitting at 600. I don't know what happened, bro. I just woke up and just kept doing them. I just kept doing them and never stopped. Right? There's no big money here, bro. There's no mansions, right? I'm not getting rubbed down by beautiful women in bathtubs. I'm not getting fed grapes. But they're very fun. I enjoy talking about it. Yeah, so 600 is coming up. I look forward to it. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see you. Illogical tactics can sometimes lead to logical solutions. Till then, until next time, this is Captain Peace.
The Captain Talks Flicks.